Good evening, everyone. In tonight's free video, we're going to take a look at a couple markets and address a couple questions. The first things first, November is over. The trading month is over, and the close is in. And if you take a look at that close, most people would say that that does not look very positive for the bulls. Now, again, you cannot make the assumption that this market is going to fall. Okay, you have to remember that. We first talked about earlier in the month that if this thing was able to break above here, we could get to a 127 extension. That has not happened. So we cannot make that assumption whatsoever. But on the other side of that, you can't make the assumption that the market's going to fall straight down as well. You have to watch it. However, it is a win for the bears. Okay? It is a win for the bears. They've been able to close this market below this low. And typically when you see that, when you see a market do that, that is an indication that, look, you may have thought that you could get in, but we're not letting you in. In fact, it's happened previously before. If you look at the peak up here, that's exactly what happened. The line's a little bit too thick, but you get the idea. It did go up higher, but was unable to close, and the bears won that, and that begun the descent. Now, I don't know if we're going to see a descent like this, but again, as we head into December, it's going to be an interesting month. And in fact, to be honest with you, every month from here on out for probably the next couple of years is going to be very, very key. Because where this market decides to go could really, really change in 1 month's time. A close back above here puts us at a high chance of here. A close below here continues to put the chances back down at retesting these levels and maybe even lower. So keep an eye tomorrow and as December goes on to see what happens with the S&P 500. All right, another question I had was a look at Google, and you can see Google here today took a pretty serious hit. The question I got is, where do you think Google's headed? What's going on with Google? So if we look at the monthly chart, the first thing you'll notice, again, as I addressed, is that this thing was unable to break through these highs, right? Very much similar to the S&P. It peaked above, unable to close. Not a win for the bulls. We cannot project that it's going to go higher. So looking at the weekly chart, you can see right here that the market went from this low here to that high. Now, typically at this when a market's coming down, we expect somewhere between the 50 and 618 there to be support. But how can we project where that might be? Let's rewind even further. Going to the daily chart, if we look close enough, you can see that that Google went down here. It consolidated for quite some time, right? A few days. And then it broke down today. It officially broke down today. So if we zoom in close enough and we measure that impulse, so we went from there to there, and then we had some choppiness in between. If we measure this leg right here from that high down to this low right here, you can see that we broke down again, 70% chance when it breaks and closes, 127. And now you can see that we've broken and closed below there. So the anticipation is 1618 extension level around 550, 545. On top of that, one of the things you'll notice is I'm gonna change this line here to just be horizontal, or I'm sorry, vertical, and I'm just gonna copy and paste the value of that. And when I copy and paste the value of that line, you see that that puts us right at the 1618 extension. So keep an eye on Google. I expect and suspect that it will get to this 545 level. On top of that, remember that weekly retracement we made? If I pull in the 50% retracement, you can see that's right in that range right there. Okay? So keep a close eye between 540 and 545 for Google. Okay? If there's any more downside, I expect it to at least find some support here. There's also this little gap fill. Wouldn't be a surprise to see it come here and try to hold. It could also just blow right through it. So keep that in mind. But expectations on Google at this point, 545 seems very probable. Okay? And then one last one on the euro. Looking at the euro again, you can see, for those of you who followed along this short, congratulations on the weekly trade. Pat yourself on the back. Again, it's all about following a simple trading plan. Okay? Sold them, stop, target, got that target, 1,000 pip gain. Great job for those of you who did it. Now, if we take a look at the daily on this one, we can also project where this is going. And again, you can see the market went from that high down to this low, made a very minor retracement. Again, a sign of strength of the down move. From the high down to low, we measure that. Okay? And again, we can zoom in here And we can see that 1-to-1 symmetry would project us right at that 1618, a little bit beyond it, but right around that 1618. You can also see that based on our RSI settings right here, we're getting to an extremely oversold condition. So I would expect, and I do suspect that the euro will try to hang out here, maybe hold. On top of that, again, going back to the weekly, where that 1-to-1 is, if we measure from the low to this high right here, that just happens to be the 618. So these areas right here could be areas of support. Again, we're going to continue to stay short. We're not stopping and reversing here, but keep an eye on these areas. These are levels where they're probably going to get to, but it's not a guarantee that it's going to hold there. It could blow right through, okay? So we'll watch over the next coming days and weeks, and again, make sure you're following a trading plan. Make sure you're following a set of rules. And then one quick reminder, I got some questions yesterday about the one-day Fibonacci workshop that we're doing next week, and next Wednesday, that is. And the question I had was, is this going to be recorded? And the answer is yes. This will be recorded. So if you come or if you don't come, this will be recorded and it will be distributed within about a week's time for everyone to download, for those who attend, that is. And you can watch it a million times. So it's yours to keep. Again, it's a whole day session. We're going to be teaching the setups that we do, the ones that involve trades like the euro that we took or Google and stuff like that. So keep an eye on that. Follow your plan, follow your rules. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you at the next update.